Hey, eighth graders. Sorry, Miss Masterly and I couldn't be here today to help us review for our quiz, but we've had plenty of opportunities to practice, and I know you guys will do a nice job of following along today to be successful with your quiz that will be on paper as well. All right, so notice right here we got numbers 1 through 6. I'm looking for you to identify the angle relationships that are named below by just placing a letter in each question. So go ahead and pause this video right now to give students the opportunity to fill in their answers. We're going to give you about 1 minute to do so. Remember, use that yellow resource to help us. So we're going to go ahead and pause right here. All right, thank you for pausing. All right, so now that we are restarting, we have all of the correct answers in. And if you look at angle 3 and angle 6, I hope you said alternate interior, which is C. Angle 4 and 6 is same side interior, which would be A. We got number 3, we got angle 3 and 7, which is corresponding, so you should have put E. We got angle 7 and 2, alternate exterior, which is D. Angle 5 and angle 8 are vertical angles, which is F. And angle 8 and angle 2, I hope you didn't get tricked on this. This is G. There's no relationship that we've spoken about that would represent those two angles. Very nice. All right, I'll fill those answers in. We're going to move on to number 7. Now looking at number 7, we're looking at which angles are vertical. Select all that apply. All right, so go ahead and pause this video here again to give the students the opportunity to pick their correct answers. I'll give you a hint right now. We're looking for, let's see, we're only looking for 2 correct answers, so make sure you select 2 answers that represent number 7. Thank you very much for pausing. When you stopped and looked to see which are the vertical angles, I hope you chose angles A and C because they are opposite each other, as well as angles G and E because those are once again opposite from each other and they share a vertex. So you should have picked C and E as your answer choices. Now, if we look at number 8, it says if angle A, so let's go ahead and erase these marks right here. So it says if angle A was 105 degrees, which other angles also measure 105 degrees? So I'm looking for 3 possible answers for number 8 here. Go ahead and pause to give students the opportunity to fill those in real quick. All right, thank you for pausing. I'm hoping that you guys noticed that we were looking for angle C, angle E, and angle G. All would be equal to 105 degrees. All right, so now let's move on to number 9 here. Number 9 says that if angle F measured 75 degrees, what is the measure of angle C? So we want to know C. And we want to know what the measurement of angle B would be. All right. So let's go ahead and pause right here to give the students opportunity to try to figure out the angle measurements. Remember, use your angle relationships to figure this one out. Thank you very much once again for trying on our own. Now I'm going to start with angle B because I think angle B is a little bit easier for us to find. The reason why I think it's easier to find is I noticed that angle B and angle F, they're in the same spot, just different shelf, which means they're corresponding angles, which means they're also congruent to each other, which makes that angle B must measure 75 degrees. Do not forget your degree symbol. That's an easy point on your test or your quiz as well. Now, if you look at angle C here, angle C is also interior angle with angle F, and they're both same side interior. And if I look at my yellow reference sheet, I know same side interior means they're supplementary or they add up to 180. So I'd grab my calculator, I do 180 minus that 75, and we know that C then would equal 105 degrees. Very, very nice. All right, on to the back side we go. You should have that all written down. Flipping onto the back side, we only have 2 questions left. You'll notice that this review is very similar to what you'll see on your quiz here, so it's super important that we pay attention. Try your best to follow along, filling in everything. Remember, when you're writing things down, you learn things better, okay? So we're looking at angle 10 here. And part A says, what equation can you write to solve for x? So before I solve for x, I want to first identify my relationship. So I see my two angles that are given to us. I hope you're looking at your yellow paper, you're thinking what angle relationship's represented. I hope you're thinking, oh, it must be corresponding angles. So they're corresponding angles. And when we know they're corresponding, you're going to continue to read on your paper that they mean they are congruent to each other or equal to each other. So if I'm saying they're equal to each other, you are saying which equation matches that. I hope you're agreeing that it's angle or equation C. C will tell us the way to solve for x. Now part B says find the value of x. So we know, just like we did on Monday, we are going to rewrite our equation and solve for x. Solving for x. One simple step on this one. All we have to do is do the opposite of adding, which is subtracting. And we see that x is going to equal 132. So fill in 132 for what x must equal. Very nice. We got one more here to go before we start our quiz. All right, here. We're going to have a little more pausing action in this one since this is our last one. And we see here it's asking us to find what equation to write to solve for x. We see here we're given 2x in this angle and 3x plus 15 is this angle. So go ahead and pause the video here. Students, make sure you identify the angle relationship. When you identify that angle relationship, you should be able to find out which equation would help us figure out what x is. So pause here. As you see on my screen now, we've identified the angle relationship as same side interior, which tell us that the angles are going to be supplementary to each other. They add up to 180. So you should have picked A for part A. Okay, now we're moving on to part B. Part B says we got to find what x equals. So what we'll do here is we're going to go ahead, rewrite our equation, and just like we were doing on Monday and before break, we're going to solve for x. Now you guys know, first step, combine those like terms, combine them. We now have 5x plus 15 equals 180. Go ahead and pause the video here for students to have the opportunity to finish solving for x. Thank you for continuing solving for x. You subtracted, then we divided, and you now know that x is going to equal 33. Okay, step 3 or part 3. It's saying, what is the angle measure of angle A and angle B? Okay, now if you look at my paper, we don't have angle A and angle B listed up on my concept board, but I know that on your paper, we see that we have angle A and angle B listed very nicely. Now, if we look here, A is represented by 2x. And we know we just found out what x is equal to. So we're going to substitute in that 33. 2 times 33 would give me 66 degrees. Do not forget that lovely degree sign. Last but not least, we're going to find angle B. And notice for angle B, it's 3 times x plus 15. You now know what x is. That is 33. I'm going to pause the video here for a moment for you guys to type that in your calculator. After typing that calculator, you see it is 114 degrees. Very, very nice. Awesome. So I'm hoping that you followed along. We're able to feel comfortable and confident for this quiz we're about here to take that is about the same length that you just saw here. Remember, please return your quiz reviews to the sub, whoever is in charge in our class today. We are not allowed to use them on our quiz. We are only allowed to use our calculators and our yellow reference sheets. Good luck. Please turn that quiz into the turn-in bin, and hopefully I'll be able to be back in action on Thursday to grade those so you can get those back before the weekend. Have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you all on Thursday. Bye-bye.